like I said, those people that you see on your feed, maybe some of them are close friends, maybe some of them are family, they might come across as a bit crazy, but they're not. They're staring down the stuff that they need to stare down. It can be quite challenging, you can feel quite lonely, and the last thing they need is for you to isolate them or talk shit about them behind their back, because that's only going to make things worse. What they need is connection, what they need is support, someone to listen. Don't have to agree. I'm Ian Hawkins, and this is Sport is Life. The purpose of sport as I see it is to see your vision become a reality. Find your voice, create strong connections, and learn to trust your body. Your crazy friend that seems to post some pretty out there stuff. He thinks like maybe losing it, or you're just wondering what's happened to them. They're not crazy. They're just fed up. They're sick of how life has been. They're sick of the shit. They've been through some pretty horrific stuff, and they're coming out the other side and they want answers. And what they're realizing from the really difficult times that they've been through is that everything that they thought was real is not as it seemed. Maybe some of the people in their world, maybe some of the different situations. There's a whole lot of stuff about their life that's just been cracked open, and they're questioning everything. So when something pops up that makes a lot of sense and is in line with that questioning everything, that curiosity, well then, yeah, they're intrigued. Now, some of the things that they're sharing, big chance there's some truth to it. Some of the other things that they're sharing, probably not. It's not to say that it's one way or the other. It's more what they're going through, and for you to get an understanding of it's not personal. It's what they're going through, and hopefully where they'll eventually land is that all of this stuff that they're facing, all of these things that are causing them to react certain ways, a lot of this stuff, people start sharing it, is because it's it's triggered a fear in them, and they suddenly feel isolated and they want other people to come with them. They don't want to feel this isolation. They don't want to be disconnected, and they want a tribe to be part of them. They want other people to see what they're seeing, to see things from a different perspective. Now, our job is not to alienate them, and their job isn't to do the same. It's about, well, how do we find middle ground? How do we allow people to have their beliefs? How do we allow people to have their own journey, but still find ways to connect? Because I guarantee you there's a lot of people in your life that you're really close with, and some of their beliefs you just don't buy into. Some of the way they live you don't particularly agree with. It can be anything from their health choices, their parenting choices, their religious choices, sexuality, anything. It's not our place to judge. It's not our place to condemn, to speak to other people about them and judge together, even worse. But instead, just try to come from a place of understanding. What are they going through? What are they battling with? What are they seeing that maybe you need to take a look at too, because perhaps there's an element of change that they're making, or an element of truth that they're seeing that you need to embrace, that you need to bring into your world. So it's just it's a time to show them there's no judgment, and you don't have to agree on everything. You can still find a way to connect. They're certainly not going crazy. And in fact, if anything, they're on a journey of self-discovery, which is going to take them to a much, much better place. I've been on that journey myself. I've certainly looked back at some of the things I've posted over the years and do cringe, and that's all part of the process. And some of us have sort of walked this path years before. Some people are just going through it now. Some of you don't even know what I'm talking about because you haven't faced those really big things. You haven't faced those big moments in your life yet. And at some point, Or maybe you have, and you're not ready to face some of those different emotions that need to come out, because they all need to come out. Childhood patterns of a lifetime, that those ones that cause you to have setbacks, to self-sabotage, to do some of those things that you wish you didn't, to react in certain ways that you then regret. It's just showing you there's more things that need addressing. And like I said, those people that you see on your feed, maybe some of them are close friends, maybe some of them are family, they might come across as a bit crazy, but they're not. They're staring down the stuff that they need to stare down. It can be quite challenging, you can feel quite lonely, and the last thing they need is for you to isolate them or talk shit about them behind their back, because that's only going to make things worse. What they need is connection, what they need is support, someone to listen. Don't have to agree. You might hear some things that you just think are downright crazy and ridiculous, but that's not because they're crazy and ridiculous. That's just because they're going through a journey that you don't have an understanding of. Why would you? I've got no understanding of what you're going through, and you've got no understanding of what I'm going through, because we all have challenges. And even people who've done a heap of work on themselves are still running a whole lot of patterns that they want to shift. I know I am. There's so much shit I still get wrong, and I continue to want to find ways to get better. This is not about perfection. This is not about judgment. This is everyone's own journey, letting people have their own journey. Because if you're trying to control other people's stuff, if you're trying to control other people's outcome, it will only end badly. Because ultimately, we can only control our own things, and the more you try and control someone else, the more resistance you'll get. It ruins relationships. It absolutely does. Pulls families apart, pulls friendship groups apart. Control what you can control. Stick there. Support each other, especially those people who are going through difficult times, and maybe projecting some of their fears, anxieties, anger, frustration out to the world. It's why some of these strange political groups have come to power over recent years, because people are disillusioned, people are sick of the same shit, they're sick of parties talking the same crap and low trust in what they're saying. And it's not to say that any of the alternatives are better, it's not to say anything's better or worse, it's just where people are at. They're fed up, they're sick of it, they want change, and they're ready to share more of themselves to the world. And like I said, they can feel quite isolating, can be quite lonely, and they might just need your support.
You've taken the time to listen to this whole episode. Now it's time to take action. Commit to one thing you've learned today and make it happen. And to avoid any obstructions, join the Sport is Life movement by clicking on the link in the show notes.